It's loading slowly. Greetings and welcome to Circle of Sisters podcast. I am your host, Lady Unk, your spiritual soul sage and soul guide, life coach extraordinary, holistic practitioner. I am here with my beautiful, beautiful sister, Chantel Sieta Shakem, woman
Welcome
of
in.
many trades. Go ahead, sis.
You said woman of many who?
Many trades. Look, I was gonna go down your laundry list, but throw them out for him, sis.
Greetings, everyone. I am Chantel Sierra Shakim, your holistic self-care practitioner and soul guide, coming in to help us navigate this experience we call life while fixing crowns in the process. I know we have missed a day last week, but we are here again. And we remember that this is an important time for us to really begin to rise, rising
Yes,
out of limitations, rising out of lack, rising out of stagnation, rising out of old stories,
fear,
traumas,
survival,
fear.
trauma.
Rise up, rise up. This is our time as we are truly beginning to see and feel the shift in the world around us. It is a real thing going on, y'all. Understand, we are in the ascension process, okay? We are
Yes,
moving beyond this 3D reality into the 5D experience of love, the frequency of oneness, the frequency of reflection in seeing ourselves as we move into this next dimension. Okay. So let's talk about it. Ring the bell.
ring,
So
ring,
we are
ring.
moving into the galaxies, y'all. We are moving into the love frequency. And it's truly about awareness, first and foremost. Being aware of where you are, where you see yourself. As we just came out of our Sacred Woman masterclass, as we were hosting the swim there, they are in the gateway of Nefer which is rising out of the mud, coming out of those things that don't allow us to see ourselves clearly and don't allow us to wear our crown properly. So, this is where understanding the moon tones, understanding the energy of the universe all play a part. So let's start there, sis. Let's
Yes, let's
talk
start.
about this
Let's start
energy.
there because you did mention that we were with the swim. You led the swim through the Neferatum Gateway, also known as Sacred Lotus Initiation. So the symbology in this gateway is the lotus flower. The lotus flower is a beautiful natural reminder that we can still rise not only victorious after making it through some of the murkiest, uh, hardest, difficult struggles, we not only rise victorious, but we rise beautiful and unblemished. And the lotus is particularly fascinating because that process of coming out of the mud is something that the lotus flower has to do daily, right? It's something that
I
they have to do
say,
daily. And I know many of us, myself included, sometimes it's hard, right? You see yourself being rooted in a dark place. You look at your family, you might have a lot of family that's toxic. Your friends and your inner circle may not be on the same wavelength as you. You might find yourself in a community that's very triggering. But how do you rise above? That was the conversation before. What are the things that you do to rise above, sis?
So yeah, that is really the essence of it's time to rise. Because once you can begin to see with your third eye what you want to be, what you want to do, what you want to have, as your higher self shows you your best life now, it's like, where do you go? Into your I am. Where do you find yourself in the present moment? This is not to spiritually bypass anything. This is to be present now in all the fear, all the doubt, all the worry, all the darkness, and begin to shine your brightest light. This is the work. We often look at, gurus and those who seem to have it all together as living their best life. And we want to mirror that without truly going into our darkest place of first identifying who we are. So this is where that root chakra energy begins. This is where you begin to root in to who you are. Who do you say you are? Are you still replaying the trauma, the situation that caused you to shrink, that caused you to not show up? Or are you ready to truly embody your crown experience? So the way that you begin is to truly begin to see it. See it. See it for yourself. And then activate your intuition of what comes next. What pain, what hurt, what sorrow are you holding? Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome in, Shane. I see you. What are you holding that is keeping you stuck in the mud? What is it? And how are you allowing your friends, your family, your job, your parents to speak into you of how you should be, what you should be doing? Or do you truly know it for yourself? That's that crown chakra activation. What I spoke about was the bridging of the higher spiritual awareness with our earthly bodily expression, and how our heart is what holds it all together or bridges the gap between the high vibration and the low vibration. But it's all you. So now what you gonna do?
What you gonna do with it? I could give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? I could give it to you, but what?
So you have to love it. You have to love it. That's where it starts. Loving on you and begin to pour into you everything that you need to support that highest expression. However that looks to you in the smallest, minuscule efforts. As I pulled cards in my TikTok community after the call this rising, it talked about the last card was the 5 of Pentacles, and it was a girl sunken down, sitting behind a closed door. But on the other side, on her side of the door, was the key, and it said, "Doors that activate magical opportunities are always opening for me." That is a mindset of how good can it get? Are you able to get up out of the mud? Get up out of that sunken place. Get up out of your chair. Dance. Go ahead. No, but you have to move that energy, right? You have to move the energy so that you can move into what's on the other side of the door. It's hard this time.
Speaking of that, transparency, in full transparency, I have been struggling like many of us, right? Right now, we're feeling so many shifts happening. And for those of us who are more neurodivergent, right, we have so many things going on in our head at once. It's hard to connect that higher realm into the body, to transfer that, to regulate your nervous system with all that you are learning. And when you mention self-care, that's really where it starts. It's really where it starts for you to ground that knowledge, that wisdom, everything that you're working through. In order to really change the dynamics of where you are, you have to be able to see something different, and not just see it, but feel it in your body in order to physically produce that in your reality. And so this is where we start to, really shift and make those changes. And earlier today, we pulled some cards, sis, right before this call. We always pull a few cards just to give us the direction of what to discuss today. We'd like to have organic conversation. So for those of you who are tuning in, please leave some comments. We'll read them. We'll discuss. If you would like to join us on the call, I will post the invite link, and you can come and join us and be directly a part of the conversation. This is an open forum, and so we want to be able to have, conscious conversation and real dialogue about what we are feeling and experiencing right now. So I've posted that in the chats. If you all want to tap in with us, come on. But sis, you pulled the card right before the call. Tell us what that card was letting us know.
That card that we pulled was all about our soul's journey. The card that came out was pride. And it's like, sometimes people are like, oh, you're so prideful. But what is pride? Pride is a positive energy. It is a feeling that elevates. And this says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So pride is not a sense of separation. This is one thing that keeps us stuck in the mud. This is where the judgments and the comparison and the competition shows up. But when you can truly love yourself and show up as you can truly meet others who are showing up in their truth, just like you. This is where we all begin to be the main character of the game that we are playing. Welcome in, welcome in. We see you, Maisha. Thank you for the like and the hello. But we are merging with one another.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
We are creating this new atmosphere of helping others as they help us, and we all accelerate in accelerated harmony. As we spoke before, we are moving out of this 3D reality where we are confined and controlled and constricted. This is a time for you to truly embody your unique expression, your unique existence. We need you now.
Yes.
More than ever. More than ever.
And I just want to preference what you're saying when you say we need you now. For those of you who know, you know that right now, for those of my brothers and sisters that follow cosmology, you're celebrating Weprum Pet, which is the 5 days out of time. To my Mayan, Olmec, Inca brothers and sisters, and you are ending out the Red Seed year and preparing for the new galactic year, which starts for everyone. All of these cultures around the world recognize the celestial new year, the galactic new year, natural time, as starting on July 26th, which is this Sunday. This is an important time for all of us right now, because this particular last 13 moons, the last year as we would know it, was a time for us to plant those seeds of what we want to manifest in our lives. Those seeds of abundance, those seeds of love, of everything that you are trying to manifest, whether it's your business, your home, your family, or within self. You've spent this last year probably planting the necessary seeds to cultivate that energy. Well, this next year that we're going through is about nurturing those seeds that you planted. So this next year is going to be the red galactic moon. I'll explain more of that in detail. And if y'all really want to follow the training, y'all need to sign up for the sanctuary, because we're going to be walking you through this entire year and what you can expect. But simply put, this next year didn't come to play. The galactic tone is about harmony and integrity. So it's really about you standing on business. If you want to create harmony in your life, you have to be in integrity. When I say in integrity, that's not just for the outside people looking in. That's really
To
you being
yourself.
integrative with your soul. Listening to how your soul is guiding you is going to be crucial in the upcoming year, because this next 13 months is full of total disruption. Okay.
Come on now. I'm going to ring it for the ones in the back.
Ring it
I
for the
felt it coming. I felt it coming.
Ring it for the ones in the back, honey. When Jumpy come through, the Jumpy is letting you know, come willingly or be dragged, okay? Jumpy did not come to play with you. It's telling you those old stories that are no longer serving you, lead them by the wayside. Stop complaining about your baby daddy. Stop complaining about your mama. Stop complaining about your sister. Stop complaining about your brother. Stop complaining about your job. Stop complaining about your husband. Stop complaining about your friends. Stop complaining. Okay, tell a new story.
And look at yourself, because it says, I see myself in everyone.
Ashe.
So I immediately am seeing that reflection, right? Even as things are destroyed,
it's hitting right in
even
the
as
heart,
things
baby.
are crumbling, it's like, yeah, that part of me, that's not serving my highest vibration. So it has to be burnt up. I'm saying we burning things down, y'all. Just as the Jumbie says, we're removing masks. No more fake it till you make it. It's not going to work here. No more pacifying or deflecting on someone else that which is your responsibility. Right now, we are all being called to go within, to truly see what's there. The good, the bad, the ugly, the devils, the angels, and everything else.
While I hold the image up, I want to read for just a second what this Jumbie is coming to let you know. First off, it says, tears will be shed as you ready to accept the change, because ready or not, here it comes. You are a living Zen proverb. Let go or be dragged, okay? What you are struggling to hold on to. Ding dong, that old situation is dead. Shifts are happening. There is a radical change happening with you and around you. Allow yourself to be cleansed of the energy of the past so you can forge ahead. A new beginning starts now. This is perfect timing for this new beginning to come through, because what is happening is this year that we're going through is a year of purification. You know, once you plant a seed, you have to then nurture that seed to be able to get the fruits of its blessing. And so this year, when it talks about purification, this year is calling you to really let go of the things that are not serving you. And there are things that help you in that process. You can let go physically, right? There's sometimes physical things we need to let go of. You know, maybe
decluttering your house.
Declutter our house. We have to clean and clear our space. We have to cleanse and clear our phones, even, right? The cell phone data, the apps, all these things that we have that are opening up our energetic field to all kind of things. Now is the time to cleanse. Definitely cleanse and purge your social media feed. Those things that are on there that are not helping you be in your highest place, cleanse that. And another thing is, take the opportunity to have conscious cleanse when you bathe. When you get in the shower, that should not just be to wash off the dirt. Every time you get in the shower or bath, that should be a spiritual cleanse to release whatever emotions you've been holding on to. Sometimes we go to bed angry because the person cut us off earlier and we didn't shake that. But if we got in that shower and we said, you know what, I let that go. That lady cut me off, but I made it home safely. I wasn't late to work. I'm going to let that go. This is the time where your thoughts are creating your reality.
Let's talk about that.
Your reality.
Let's talk about that as we have a comment in the chat that says, oh my, it's like you are reading me and what I need to, and saying what I need to hear. This is
Come
the
on.
energy of how it shows up. When you are ready, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And sometimes you are the teacher. Let me ring the bell on that. Because at the end of the day, once we become aware of it, it's like, oh, okay, so this is happening to make me aware of the areas that I need to change, that I may need to realign, that I may need to begin to speak differently into that situation and see how it is truly working for me and not against me. Because sometimes the friction and the resistance comes because you're not choosing to move on. It's not that you have to make a big scene, you just have to go a different route. And those things that are not along for that part of the journey, they stay going whichever route they go. And it's okay. We can only be who we are. And as that card said, I help others and they help me. And together we rise in accelerated harmony. And that could mean that while you've been holding on to something, you keeping that person from rising in their acceleration over here because you're supposed to be rising over here. You can't hold on to things.
Mm-hmm.
We have to release, because that's truly how we begin to rise. And I am complete.
She said it. And I am complete. The world is shifting. Like, let's just keep it a buck with everybody. The world is shifting, and you're hearing a lot of things that you probably never heard before coming on your timeline, because society as a whole is waking up. And a lot of people hate when people say, oh, we hate the word woke, but it's really coming into an awareness of various aspects of reality that are not regularly taught to us, that are not regularly communicated to us how to move through. But we are in a society where more of our youth are neurodivergent. They're experiencing a lot right now. They don't have the guidance, because many of us have not learned this, or are just now coming into this information. So there's a generation that is literally in real time waking up to all of this information, and they don't know how to bring it into the physical reality and make it whole. To simply put, in order to push yourself out of the mud every day, you have to stay focused on what your goal and your vision of your life is, and not focused on your problems, your trauma, your stressors, because this world wants to give you what you want. And the way this universe communicates with us is through our thoughts, our words that we speak, our heart, what it's communicating. And if those things aren't aligned, right? If your heart
and our actions,
if they're not in alignment, then you are sending conflicting, contradictory messages out into the universe, and the universe doesn't know what to do with that or how to respond. If primarily your energy is focused on worry, guess what the universe is going to provide you? More things to worry about.
Yes. That is a true nature. That is, and along that same path, understand we are in this dimension where time allows us the space to catch up. What we are experiencing right now is the past. These things are the things we've actioned by our past experiences, our past thoughts, our past ideas, our past desire to show up in this way. But this is also the moment we create for our future.
Yes.
By holding that vibration, as you said, by seeing it being done the way we desire, by holding the frequency. One thing about the universe, it's not going to give you what you're not ready for, what you haven't communicated clearly, and it's going to test you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come through in a way that says, okay, do you really mean what you say? Because here's this other option. Here's this other uh, disruption. Are you going
Mm-hmm.
to focus in on it, or are you going to stay focused on your goal? Are you going
That
to
is
stay and hold that vibration?
that is a word right there, sis. And we were speaking earlier, and I was letting you know, like, I've been really struggling over the past few weeks because I've done so much work, right? And the integrating it for self has been good, not as great as I would like, because now I'm trying to integrate it with the family too, and sometimes that's a challenge. And I found myself um kind of getting complacent, giving up, like, forget it, they don't want to learn it, whatever, they don't want to come and see my side of things and how I have been manifesting and how I have literally gotten some of the things that I've wanted just by really staying focused on the goal. But what I realized is you have to maintain a vibration long enough for it to affect those around you. You have to maintain and hold a frequency long enough for it to become second nature, to where you no longer have to explain. Your energy, your vibration shifts the energy and vibration of the atmosphere. And I
And
can
with
do
that,
that at
oh,
times. Oh, I'll let you go.
go ahead.
I can do that at times, but holding and maintaining that frequency has been a challenge for me because I'm an empath, and my lower nature was to deflect and reflect. They don't
Mhm.
want to get on my time. Okay, I'm gonna deflect and I'm gonna reflect back to them the stuff that I don't like. So they'll when they see it in me, they not gonna like it. So then they'll make a change, and that's worked when I was operating at lower frequencies. But when I want to operate at a higher frequency, that deflect to reflect don't work over on this frequency. You can't be at a vibration of abundance, of wholeness, of completion, of Christ consciousness, operating with a low vibrational energy. That just don't match. It's off beat. It's off kilter. And so you were gonna say, I'll let you
I was
add
going
on.
to say, and that is where you come willing or you be dragged. Because
Exactly.
it works both ways. Either you going to come willing by holding the vibration, and everybody else who's a part of the equation will be dragged because now they feel in some type of way, but you're maintaining. Or when you deflect and go back, you're being dragged, and you're being dragged in the vibration that is most prominent. So this is where being the light in the darkness is so, so, so pivotal. And it is so important for us to really hone in on our own self-care, filling our cups, allowing us to be able to navigate those lows in the highest frequency. And it's like that bridge. Get on the bridge. I'm going into the heart space. This is where everything is equalized and what is it?
Harmonize.
Harmonized. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're there, it's like, okay, I got love for you, but I got love for me. And this is what I see for us in the highest frequency. They may be down in the I do, but they ain't doing can or doing. You
No.
know, they ain't can or doing. So the light is shining there, but you have to be able to hold it. Because sometimes when they feel and see that they ain't doing canning and doing, they gonna drop down to I feel wet. I feel like you stressing me. I feel like you calling me to do something that I don't want to do. But you hold the vibration
That's
and you say,
that.
you know what? I don't want you to do anything that you don't want to do. But when you feel like you're being dragged, maybe that's something for you to evaluate for you. It doesn't have
Absolutely.
anything to do with me.
Absolutely. Everyone around us. And this is where I've really started to understand, and especially in these last couple weeks, y'all, because I've been dragged, I have been dragged. I am not going to fake the funk for y'all. It has been a rough few weeks, but that's because I've been integrating. An ascension is happening, right? So when an ascension happens, you're integrating a lot of information, and sometimes it can throw your nervous system off if you're not rooted, if you're not aligned. It can throw your nervous system off. And honestly, the last few weeks, I've been integrating so much and letting, financial pressures and stresses kind of take the forefront of my mind. And I've seen and felt how it was affecting not just me, but those around me, and the energies that it was attracting with me being in this low vibrational state. And so I knew that I had to shift. And this is why it's so important when we mention the communities that we govern. It's very important that you get a community that is focused primarily on your ascension, your transformation, your elevation, your evolution. And the reason I say that, because a lot of us belong to spiritual houses that are teaching the spiritual doctrine, right? They're teaching whatever this spiritual doctrine is. However, the efforts of truly helping you as an individual evolve, learn, and grow may not be as readily accessible. It might not be as accessible. And so for those of us who are like that, we have the sanctuary where you're able to connect with like-minded women. You have constantly these women's circles that are going on that are offering everything from breath work to yoga, one-on-one consultations. These are things that community events, trainings, lots of trainings in our Rolodex, books. We have these tools, these resources, and a built-in community that helps support you along the journey. And so the reason I wanted to mention that is because these 13 moons that we're going into for the upcoming celestial year is all about.
Can we pause real quick?
Yes.
Pause real quick. Because there's two questions that was
go to the questions.
Chiming off of what you were saying. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it says, how do you let go of your fears daily and focus on your goal? I have problems with holding on to the past and can't stay in the vibration you are talking about. I'm glad I tuned in here. So that was the first question. Do you want to answer? You did kind of talk about it, having community, having people that support you, having a routine of your own for self-care and regulation. I'm a part of a regulated ritualist community in the morning, men and women, who we come together at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to do breath work. Finding that opportunity to have a place to express and to release those stories, those old things that keep showing up. Because if you're still holding it, you have to let it go. And to let it go, sometimes we don't know how, but our breath, and in conscious connected breath or in rituals, you can do burning, you can do writing, you can burn things, write it out, burn it up, let it go. Don't revisit it. You can allow the breath to go into the spaces where it may be hidden by breathing a conscious connected breath. I could post that link in the chat as well for the regulated ritualists. You can just really begin to write out who you are, how you want to show up, and how you no longer allow the things that have shown up in the past to be your focus. Focus on how good it can get. That's an immediate shift of energy for me. When I find myself spiraling out of control, when I find myself looking at all the chaos and the destruction and everything crumbling around me, instead of jumping on, oh, this ain't going right, this ain't going right, this ain't going right, I begin to say, how good can it get immediately? How good can this get? And shift the focus into that. Because as she's mentioned, thoughts become things. The more you think about it, the more you're going to have an opportunity to experience it, to continue to think about it. It is mind over matter. And it's really about not allowing the outer world to influence your inner well-being. Yes. Finding that place to love on you. What would
Absolutely.
you say?
And to your point, there are various communities. We're connected with a bunch of them. As you mentioned, the Rising Ritual group that you're a part of, that's a wonderful group, especially with helping you with a actual practice you can use throughout the day that will help you whenever those triggers happen, something to help you get reacclimated or regulate your nervous system. One of the things that I do, and which is, I was talking, we were saying this earlier, our rising call that we have for our celestial chanters, they're chanting in the morning. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Many of y'all, maybe like me, the first time you heard it was on What's Love Got to Do with It with Tina Turner. But it's Buddhist chant for peace, right? And you chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo for peace. And so we are a part of a celestial community that starts off with chanting for peace. It goes into a little bit of information about different Buddhist expressions or ways of living, which are all centered around finding inner peace in the midst of chaos. That is literally what the Buddhist practice is about. And so we start off with that. That's at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then right after that, we transition into giving you the galactic reading for the day. So we're letting you know what is happening with the cosmos. As we know, the African proverb, as above, so below. If you know what the energy is going to present for the day, you can be better prepared for how you show up and how you react, or I should say respond to what the energy is presenting. You understand that this energy that's present today is meant to teach me XYZ. So as it happens, I'm not focused on the energy present. I'm looking for the lesson and what was being presented, what I'm experiencing. And so for me, that sets the tone of my day. Okay, I already know what to be aware of. And so as I'm going throughout that day, I started off with peace. I chanted that in the morning. Then I got my celestial overview of where the energy is and what will probably show up today. Now I'm ready to respond intentionally instead of reacting emotionally. And that's one of the things. There was a second question. I don't want to forget, sis. Did you get that?
Okay. The second question says, what's the best way when it's coming from a child in your own home who is very intentionally about maintaining the lower vibration and making efforts to transfer?
Listen, I don't know if they talking specifically to me or what, but listen, sis, bro, whoever that is, I'm right there with ya, okay? I'm right there with ya. What I've gathered, right, in my observation of my children, especially my daughter, who is reflecting, and I notice I use the word reflecting back to me, my lower energy. What do I mean by that? Our children see past the bullshit. They see past the love and light, the glitz and glam, the whatever it is you are presenting. And so when you are getting that reaction from your child, that is your child letting you know, I see you. And just to let you know I see you, I'm going to show up as that reflection of you, that lower self that you try to deny, that you don't want to pay attention to.
Come on now.
And so that's hard for people to sit with. It's been hard for me to sit with these last couple of weeks. I told y'all it's hard for me to sit with. But I realized that my daughter is, number one, an empath. I know that from her spiritual makeup, that she's an empath. And she is going to reflect the energy that she experiences. And so most children, especially children today, if your child was born anytime within, I'll say 2015, 24, probably 2010 and after, Your child is very empathic. They were born at a time where they had to be. So many shifts were happening during that time. So many shifts has happened during their lifetime. And so whatever energy you're experiencing from your child is an energy that they're reflecting. If not from you, then someone else in the household who is more dominant. Okay, so that would be what I would say. Sis, would you like to add anything to that?
I would say, our children right now are in a very sensitive crux. And really, like you said, they are neurodivergent. There's a lot of lack of cognitive connection in that space of there's no regulation. A lot of us have allowed Instagram or the tablets and the iPads to begin to raise our children, and they are in control of that world. So when they are not in that world, it may be difficult for them to engage because they need what they want right now and they feel they deserve it because this microwave world is giving it to them like this. And the moment something comes in between what they want and what they desire, there's an automatic pause or fight, flight, freeze, a nervous system dysregulation response. I can even say for my son, even though he's in his 20s, 24, he's like, Ma, I don't even know what's going on with my generation. He's like, we don't even know what's going on, but the awareness and maybe the lack of verbal communication maybe the underlining cause. I'm not sure. Every child.
I like that. I respond to that because I was talking to my daughter and she's very smart, like extremely smart. So when she told me she didn't have the words to express her emotions, I was caught off guard. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. You're extremely smart, but because they're feeling so much deeper than we felt at that age. Ooh. They're exposed to so much more than we were exposed at that age. And so they don't have the vocabulary, like you spoke to speak to what they're actually experiencing.
I seen a reel with Keke Palmer, I believe, or someone was talking about, it wasn't Keke Palmer, it was another person I follow. I can't think of her name, but she was talking about the world only giving us a limited number of expressions. You see the happy, the sad, the mad, or the I don't know. Right. Okay. That's even in the healthcare. You got these images. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you mad? Or you don't know? So when you look at that, I would encourage you to take some time with your child, all of us, to say, you know what, pull out that dang emotional
that chart. Yeah, wheel. I just ordered one.
The emotions wheel. Because we, like you said, the Jumbie time is coming. Total destruction is happening. But it doesn't mean that it has to be bad.
Right. Okay? It's a rebirth. It's that chrysalis, when a butterfly is in the cocoon, total destruction has to, I should say the caterpillar is in the cocoon. Total destruction of the caterpillar happens before the butterfly emerges. And even after the butterfly, and I always say this part, even after the butterfly is completely formed, right?
It takes time for them to get their wings.
Time where they sit there to allow their wings to dry, to allow their wings to be able to
integrate into this new experience.
Integrate into everything that they've just experienced through that transformation. And that's where a lot of us are. That's where I am. I'm integrating a lot of what I've experienced through this transformation. A lot of what has shifted for me now needs to be integrated into daily reality, not just in spiritual practice, but in lifestyle.
Ashe,
which is
embodiment, in the embodiment of it. And
yes.
this is where your joy, your peace, your happiness, your I am supports you in your
Mhm.
knowing. It's like, yeah, we understand even in seasons as we look at the seasons change. All the trees lose their leaves, all the grass loses its green. And we know it's gonna come back stronger, wiser, more expansive. That's what we have to allow ourselves to do too. Dying to those old beliefs, dying to the old trauma, dying to the old story, dying to the way that this is how I always show up. Choosing to show up differently in a way that supports your highest vibration. It is time for us to truly rise. And
Yeah.
there are tools, there are communities, there are people, there are resources. I am here. Look, both of us are
Yes.
holistic coaches to help navigate you through the experience. Reach out. I work with men, I work with women, I work with grief, I work with sorrow, I work with loss, I work with self care, I work with ancestral veneration, I work with truly showing up at your highest expression, regulating your nervous system through practical tools,
Okay.
utilizing things every day. It's like we do things unconsciously every day just out of routine because we've done it so long. This is the way, walk in it without taking time to pause, without taking time to say, really, how does that make me feel? Is this something I want to continue to do? Is this truly allowing me to express all my gifts, all my talents, all that I am in a way that feels good to me and also lifts humanity? Starting with my immediate circle, starting with my family, starting with my friends. And then you'll see who truly is here to lift you, to
Hello.
support you,
There
to
you
go
go.
the distance.
You'll see. I'm so glad that you mentioned that. As we approach this new year, I just want to make everyone aware that we have a community that's available for those who wish to expand on any of the topics that we talk about. Not only do we offer our services independently, we do offer them collectively as well as retreats. We have a lot coming up for this upcoming year. We're going to be doing a lot, and you may see a lot change and shift within both of us as we are expanding our work, our practice, and our lives. When we talk about the spiritual aspects and the holistic practices, we're not talking about this as a mean to convert anyone to one thing or another. We are both interfaith ministers. We believe in the connection, the interconnectedness of all spiritual houses. Um, yes, we have had some specialties in certain spiritual houses, but we believe in the connection of all. And really, what it's going to take for our society to shift, it's going to take a shift in the mindset. One of the things that I specialize in is for those who have the entrepreneurial spirit and wish to expand their sacred work, their medicine into community platform, community forum. I am on a mission to see that every person who desires is able to walk away from the time clock. That has been my goal for the last 12 years. That continues to be my goal. I used to put a money on that. I want to make 100 women millionaires. That's what I started off with. But when I got to the root of what I wanted to do is I wanted 100 women to be able to say that they were free of the time clock, free of showing up as someone else has instructed them to show up, free to be themselves, free to own their own sovereignty, to be able to feel like they can not only provide for themselves, but they can build enough for the legacies and the 7 generations after them. The way that
Thank
we do
you.
that is by coming together in community. I know everybody got bruised and hurt egos because this person did them wrong in this place or that place. But if we keep telling that story, we will never go any further. One of the things that I heard recently and I really started to respond to is someone said in regards to all of the social justice uproar that's been happening with the unaliving of young Black men in America today. Someone said we not boycotting, we blacking out. And in order for the blackout to be successful, we have to bring back the community. We have to bring back the family. And so the way that we do that is first by bringing ourselves home to ourselves, honoring who we are, rising, or I should say, raising our frequency, raising our vibration so that we are overlooking anything that the mud had to offer. We've surpassed that. We've come out of the mud again and again, day after day. This life is no different. And so when we come out, we are victorious. We are unblemished by anything society has had to offer us. We know that we are the chosen people. We know that we have the ability to affect change in a radical way. That starts in the mind. Our war no longer is a war that is being fought in the streets. Our war is a war of the mind. When we control our minds, we can control our reality.
Ashe. And that is true. And when we think of, who we are as individuals and who we are as people, it's really about finding that place of unity and support and showing up in the spaces that support you and showing up for the people who support you and not really always making it about separation, right? Mm-hmm. Not always making it about, okay, these people are not treating us right, so we gonna ace them out. But it's about, no, look for the people who are including you and include them. And look for the people who are willing to help you and help them. And know that coming back to our people is a real important place. To know that if you can't show up for the people who are supporting you, why are you showing up to support people who don't?
Hello.
And then, especially in the African American community, we see so much division, so much separation. And then we want to know why we're always at odds. Or why we can't rise up.
Well, because we got to share a new story. It's time for a new story.
And to support those human beings that are supporting you and don't always look for someone to be coming against you. Show up, and when you show up, the world shows up around you. The world shows up to support you. And we had another question saying, the world expects men to heal all their emotions. The world expects men to hide all of their emotions, it feels like. And that is a truth. If you cry, you soft. If you show emotions, you're not a man. That is a falsity. And that's really what keeps a lot of men suffering.
And to that point as well, the world may be asking for that, but I guarantee their woman is not. She's asking for you to share your emotions.
Come through, Spirit.
So I had to say this because I agree. The world does suggest and paint the narrative that a man has to show up this way. But the woman in your home, the woman that you lay down with, wants, and I don't know a woman, I don't care what color, creed, religious affiliation she is, the woman wants to know. The woman wants to know. And honestly, if you let her know, she has the ability to help you transmute that energy like no one else.
Come through.
She has the ability to do that. But I know that, now let me just say this. Not all women are healed. And so if you're giving those emotions to an unhealed woman and you laying down with an unhealed woman, then that's going to just be swapping
fire under the bridge, right?
Swapping toxic energy. But a healed woman really wants to be able to be that safe space for her man, and so even though the world outside the home may be asking for that, I guarantee you the woman inside is asking for the complete opposite.
Ashe. And that is the truth. We often see men wanting to express, or dump their emotions through sexual acts. This just
Mm-hmm.
came through. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, it feels good to have sex, it feels good to release. But in that same space, it does feel good when you can hold your partner's hand and say, man, I need some support.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling this. I'm feeling mighty low. I'm feeling like I don't know where to go. And a healed woman is going to hold space for you. She's going to say, I got you. I can help you. Are you willing to breathe with me? Are you
Mm-hmm.
willing to let me lay hands on you and
Mm-hmm.
help see this energy through? Are you willing to just be held? Because sometimes that little boy wants a mama to hold him, wants a
Yes.
mama to say, it's okay. We gonna make it. It's all right. You can cry. You can let it go. And without judgment, see you rise from that release without it being a dumping of your emotions, without any connection to what are we working with. And then you dump on the woman and she like, I be goddamn. Why am I going through this? Because she's open to receive. And our portals are that transference, that immediate connection that makes you one.
Mm-hmm.
So she don't know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and everything else you've been eating as well by that exchange.
Ashe,
So
ashe.
being able to be open in this communication of love, touching, feeling, holding, embracing, and releasing, it's nothing wrong with it. And sometimes you got to be that mama, daddy, sister, brother to yourself and say, you know what? Hey, man, I got you. You want to cry? Let's cry. Go on a fishing trip. Go hiking. Go into the woods and scream and and punch, fight, release it and say no more. Don't go back and pick it up. You have the power to release your emotions in a healthy way that really allows that emotion to be felt, to be
Mm-hmm.
held, to be seen, to be witnessed. And that's all it's experienced. That's all it wants is that experience. And we have been taught you have to feel it to heal it. You
Ashe.
can't bypass it. You can't sweep it under the rug. You can't man up to it because you will be dragged
You
over
will.
and over and over. And you will feel like somebody is doing something to you.
Mm-hmm.
But it really, in fact, is you not allowing the energy of life, your life, to move through. This is what we do. We are fixing crowns because it all begins in the mind. All is mental. But the moment we can regulate it with universal principles, understanding the circadian rhythm, understanding the cycles of the moon, understanding the tones. Shout out the Mayan calendar, sis,
Shout
for this
out the Mayan
deeper,
calendar. For
deeper
those,
study.
yes, yes. For deeper study, we will have study guides inside of the Sanctuary platform for those of you who join us. We are going to be doing a training for the calendar for those of you who'd like to study along with us, and daily navigation calls. So every single day starting the 26th, I will be live making sure that I'm giving you the celestial breakdown because I really want to make sure that we are all in alignment for this new year. It is time for us to return to natural time. The Mayan calendar that we use, are the 13 moon dream spell calendar, which is the galactic calendar, was created during a harmonic convergence. Cultures, indigenous cultures around the world that have observed a 13 moon calendar, which is, in fact, our natural times rhythm, have come together to create a universal calendar for us to use across cultures. This calendar represents the 13 tones of creation. Every single year, we go through a total of 13 months. I'm sorry, 13 moons. We know of 12 months because we have been placed in a unnatural time. The Gregorian calendar is unnatural, right? Because time of the moon cycle, it cycles a little bit over 28 days every month. With that being said, that means that there would be 13 different moons that would happen in a calendar year. The Dogon tribe, deep in the heart of Africa, discovered Sirius B billions of years, they say, before any other tribe known across the world. Okay, the Mayans recognize this time. The the Egyptians are the Kemites recognize this time. The I believe it's the
Aztecs, Mayan culture.
Aztecs. We have all over the world, they have recognized the 13 moon calendar. Okay. If you have an almanac, if you're a gardener, your grandma garden, she recognized the 13 moons of the year because it is the natural cycle of creation. Okay. When you're able to observe natural time, you are in flow with the universe, which means that it's easier for you to manifest your desires because you are working in harmony, in conjunction, in unison with natural rhythm and natural flow. The problem is, for generations, we've been doing things out of order. We've been disconnected to the natural rhythm and flow, and it has affected us in so many ways. And so this year, we making it our mission to teach natural time, to restore natural time to our community so that we don't have to be bogged down with stress, fear, or survival. We can live as sovereign, whole beings, creating our destiny one moon at a time. Ashe?
Ashe. And just for the record, I would like to just share a little bit of how that works. As we are on July the 23rd today,
Yes.
we are on the white overtone world bridger. That is the energy and essence of today. And the white overtone is guided by timelessness. Come through.
Ashe. Isn't it a portal today? Is it a portal?
It isn't a portal today. This is tone 5, the overtone tone. So with each day comes a tone. And I am going to read you the tone of today. The overtone tone. It says, this principle of the center governed by the number 5 allows the order of number 4 to move as the seasons move around the solar center. Tone 5 is the principle of center, which emanates the world of form. So it brings things into form. Understanding the 13 tones and the wave spell as a sequence, the radiance of tone 5 amplifies the form structure of tone number 4, the one before it, which was yesterday. Measured and defined. Form is secure and ready to be radiantly shared with the empowered expression of tone 5. This is to empower, to command, and radiate, or radiance. All radiance emanates from a center point. What was we talking about? Your heart center. What's there? That's bridging the top to the bottom. It says every individual has a personal center, a place of strength and stillness in the core of one's being, a point of autonomy and authenticity. We was talking about all of this, y'all. An inner sphere of fearlessness, egoless, self-love. The center connects us with the earth center. This is grounding and rooting in who you are, connecting with the universal day. Okay. It says, it is, it, where was I? Okay. Okay. At a point of autonomy. Okay. And at the core of the Milky Way. So the center of the earth and the core of the Milky Way. So as above, so below. And here we are in the middle of the flow. Okay. It says, and the spiritual heart of creation, living form and communion with the center establishes a holistic connection between our inner and outer worlds. Girl, don't ask me why, but Spirit said yes. And the outer world, bringing an overtone of empowerment to all that we do. So this is the day that you do what you want to do and see it come through, and the universe will support it. It provokes us to connect with our truth and radiate that knowing. As above, so below. When we are in command of our own knowing, that radiance expresses into the environment, thoughts becoming things, and empowers others to discover and shine in their truths as well.
Sure.
Tone number 5 embodies the power of non-linear radial time. Overtone directs focus on your heart as the matter. It navigates us through your shifting and feels out the sequence. We affect all aspects of our experience in centering in the ever-present now moment. Focusing on the now and create the mind of stillness. Center in the heart of love. Center in the body and the breath. And you will find yourself centered in the cosmos. I know that was a lot, y'all. It kind of goes deep, but
let me
we've been doing this work. So
let me say it in plain and simplified terms.
Give it to us.
As we said, those 13 moons of the year, those play out every 13 days. So every 13 days, a new moon energy is governing the energy of the day. The first 4 tones are foundational tones. It's telling you to unify with yourself, discover what the challenges that are presenting themselves are. That's number 2. The third thing is telling you to bond with your act of service or with your purpose, right? The fourth is to build a foundation, build the structure necessary for you to be able to offer your wisdom, your medicine, your light to the world, right? And then overtone is saying stand on business, go out there and do it, radiate that knowing, radiate that energy out into the world, right? Radiate that inner knowing. Now let that inner knowing that you've been working on start to emanate outside of you. That's what we were talking about earlier when we were talking about maintaining your vibration. When you maintain your vibration at a frequency of sustainability, then it becomes radial. It starts to radiate outside of you. You start to actualize those things outside of you. And so that's what this overtone is letting you know, that in order for you to have the life you want, you have to command it to be so. You have to believe it in your heart. You have to get to the root of the matter. What's keeping me from attaining the life that I desire? Oh, wait a minute. I see. It's because I am not fully invested, mind, body, and spirit, into what it is that I desire. When I fully invest, when I fully commit, when I set the foundation, right, with those first four tones, now I'm able to radiate that knowing out into the world so that I can manifest the thing that I desire.
Ashe. And this is how we work with the energy of the day. And it's very simple. Although this I read it from the calendar.
From the calendar.
Just because that is the depth of knowledge that comes from the calendar. 13moons.com. You can get it. You can study it. It's very self-explanatory. Mm-hmm. Like Sis said, the new galactic year starts in 3 days, July the 26th. We are shifting this energy into, what is this year's, the moon?
It's the red galactic moon year. So the red galactic moon year is about harmony and integrity, okay, and being in sacred flow. So it's really about honoring your inner spirit. What your spirit has been communicating to you, this year is going to be calling forth, which means that this can be an emotionally heavy year if you are not pouring into self, if you are not doing the self-care practices, making sure you're staying in alignment. This year may bring up a lot of emotions because it's really calling you to be in integrity with what your soul is calling for, what your spirit wants. And a lot of times we shush that voice, we minimize that voice because it's out of alignment with the social constructs that we've been conditioned to accept.
Oh,
and because it doesn't go in, it doesn't fall in line with that, we don't listen to spirit, right? And so this year is going to directly challenge that. It is going to directly challenge you in all the ways that you have not shown up for you. And what it is asking you to do is to double down on you, meaning this is the year that you have to pour into you twice as much as you've poured into yourself before. Because this is the year where you are nurturing the seeds. You are providing nourishment to those seeds that you've planted. You've been planting seeds. You started the business. You got the product up. You set up the website. You came up with the name. You decided that you was going to do it. Now this year is saying, now you have to pour into it and nurture it. You can't just go to Home Depot. I done did this a couple of times. So I'm talking to myself. I ain't talking to y'all. You can't go to Home Depot, get a plant, and then sit it up in your house without watering it. What's going to happen?
It'll die.
Over time, that it's not getting any nourishment. You ain't talked to the plant. You ain't poured no water in the plant. Then you wonder why it didn't burnt up, because it wasn't nourished. And so this is what this year is telling us, that in order for you to live in harmony, right? To be truly in harmony, you have to align with the integrity of your soul and your spirit. And when you do that and you nurture yourself, you're able to manifest that much faster because you're not allowing the mud, right, to keep you locked down. You're not allowing. Go ahead, sis.
Go ahead.
You're not allowing the mud, the low vibrational energies, whatever it may look like, right? The outworld chaos. You're not allowing that to dictate your reality. Similar to what you said in regards to us separating ourselves from other people. The reality is, once we all decide that we are no longer oppressed, we're no longer the minority, once we all decide that, it's literally a decision. If it all clicked, if every one of us woke up and said, I ain't oppressed, I ain't no minority, I don't got to be scared of this, we'd walk different, we'd act different, and everything would have to shift around us. And that is, in theory, what this year is bringing towards us. It's letting us know that now is the time for you to be in harmony with your spirit, your soul, because the transition that's taking place in the world as a whole, it's recalibrating. And so if you're not in alignment with your soul, you are helping the recalibration of something that we do not desire.
That is very clear. That is very clear. And we have to know who we are. Mm-hmm. Know who you are as an individual soul outside of your body. You are not the skin. You are you are an
infinite being.
You are connected to all that is possible. Source. But the moment you misalign, you will find yourself being dragged. That is my takeaway for today.
Yes.
Do not choose to be dragged by anyone. Know who you are. Adjust your crown and rise from the mud. Rise from the ashes, even if it means burn it all down and start fresh. Because endings are merely new beginnings, but you have to choose it. You have to choose it not for anyone else, but for yourself. And the moment we each show up in our own unique expression, truly being the love frequency for the whole world to see, we will all begin to rise in accelerated harmony. No more division, no more separation, no more lack, no more worry, no more I'm here, you're there. It is oneness that we are all trying to move to. And it's only oneness that will shift into the 5D. No more separation between you and me. You are my reflection, and I see you because you're within my circle. So this was a good conversation.
This was, we didn't went. Oh, I think this was one of our longest videos yet. And I do want to tie this up for those of you who may have missed it at the beginning. I want to make sure that I give the ancestral medicine, because I didn't give the ancestral medicine of the Jumbie card that we talked about. Is it upside down? Okay, here we go. The Jumbie card that we talked about. I want to make sure that I give the ancestral memory. The ancestral memory says Jumbies are outwardly spiritual spirits and monsters in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean carnivals, the Moku Jumbies towers on the stilts as God who sees over what's right and wrong. People fear the Jumbie as messengers of death. However, the Jumbies are the most potent as messengers of life. Jumbies reminds us to embrace the changes of life. Jumbie is as much about beginnings as it is about endings. And the ancestral medicine, fear of change and fear of death are two huge fears for those of us who walked before. Our ancestors are calling you to release the fear and rise as yourself with all the lessons from your past in your heart. And if you are seeing this and it's not resonating you, it's telling you, or it's feeling like a reversal for you, stop living in the past or hanging on to what was. You are the reason your life is still. So let it go. And I want to read the declaration. I am completely open to the sacred magic of change. Y'all repeat that after me. I am
completely open to the sacred magic of change.
Ashe. Wow. Woo.
The change supports us. Look, change the fool. Sometimes you got to play the fool, y'all. Mm-hmm. But understand, the fool is the thing that starts your journey. Look, sometimes you got to lose your mind to come to your center.
Ashe. And the fool is the card in tarot that has all of the possibilities.
Endless possibilities await. So until next time, thank you all for hanging tight with us. Thank you for the engagement. Thank you for the questions. I am because you are Mbutu. I love when we can come into community and really just have a candid conversation, knowing that we are all here for the expansion and the growth. And we remember, until next time, we are your hosts, your soul sisters,
speaking out and fixing crowns in the process. In Lakesh Alakin, I am another you. Until next time, peace.
Peace and love.